domain to profit. Can you tell? Can you tell? Well, I am Drew Wash. I am here in Daytona Beach, Florida with my family. And by my family, I mean extended family. We get, we see my, anyhow, lots of people, all in rooms spread around the place that we're currently staying. And I've commandeered this room right here to have a few minutes to spend with you and look over expired domains like we do every single week now for 102 weeks. 102 weeks of looking through expired domains. And some of you out there might be asking what I asked myself as well when I decided to do this even on a family vacation. That is, why? Why, Drew? Why not spend time with your family here on vacation? And why take this, bit of time out of it to do work? And the answer is, for me, this is not work. This is out of love and an expression of who I am as a person. So it's no big deal to me. Like, in fact, this is who I am authentically, and you hanging out with me as we look through expired domains is like a dream come true for me. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you joining me for this moment on my family vacation while we look through some expired domain names over on expireddomains.net. So this is a crazy remote environment. Crazy things can happen. Alarms might go off, thunderstorms. We'll see what happens. So either way, we'll find out what's going to happen. Usually the show's usually this show is an hour long. Today we are going to let the domain names dictate how long the show is. If I can get out to the pool, if I can get out to the beach with my family sooner, then so be it. But it's going to come down to this over here, which actually, I don't even know if I have the screen set up. So let me go get this figured out. Boom, there we go. It's going to depend on this here, which is expireddomains.net, and whether or not it produces great domain names for us today. So if you're here for the first time, yes, this is Domain to Profit. I'm the crazy guy that does this, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for being interested in domains, expiring domain names, and the potential that they have to make you money, but most importantly, change your life and allow you to create the future that you want to have for yourself, your friends, your family. Say hi in the chat. We are going to get started just after this.
From domain to profit, from a .com to a business idea. Take a domain name, develop an income from domain to profit. We'll show you how. Domain to profit, from domain to profit. Join Drew Wash and get started right now.
Alrighty, yes, Mohawk indeed. I saw Michael mention it. This is my easy wet hair thing. So playing around with the kids and just, I like this actually. I like Mohawk. It might make appearances more frequently. And no, cannot stop domaining. It is always a thing. It is going to be a thing every single, week at least. It gets a few hours for sure. And let me work my way through the chat real quick. I'm down to one single screen, so there won't be a ton of chat stuff, but we'll see. Michael, it is nice to see you. Let's see here. Still trying to get a good list of domains for the DTP community. I might have missed something on that one. But hey, how's it? Oh, here we go. Maybe it came in a different order on my screen versus yours. Apologies for always a challenge, is what Jeffrey said. And I missed something else. I believe up in the chat every chatting before I even started the broadcast, which I love. Howdy, Coaster G. Saw you got a bunch of coasters in yesterday. That's nice. Let me see here. And down in AZ, I'm in Daytona, Florida. The afternoon storm's about to happen. It's a thing here. Fred, nice to see you as well. And Lee, I see you popping in here as well. My goodness, come on, laptop. You got to work for me. Work with me. Evening, afternoon here, evening there. The Rock's here. Hey, Rock. Nice to have you here, bud. And, okay, chats just keep coming in. Exactly. Another week of opportunities every single week. We do this show live every single week, and there's new opportunities. Some weeks are good ones. Other weeks are learn what not to buy, but lots of good stuff. So, all righty. Well, let's get this going. And that means we're going to step over to right here. This is expireddomains.net. Expireddomains.net is the free website that you can create a free account for. And they've done the hard work of pulling together, well, hundreds of thousands of expiring and deleted domain names. And you're like, hey, it's somebody else's trash. And just like when I was a kid, I would go looking for cool stuff in people's trash. You ever go garbage picking or whatever? One person's trash may be your treasure. And for a poor kid growing up, I will tell you, other people's trash can definitely be your treasure. Like I had a cool speaker system in my car because I rigged some stuff up back in the, anyhow, it's good stuff. So we're going to go looking through expired domain names. And there is, I don't have it up, but you can go to the link in the YouTube video profile. It will show you the filters that we use to create the GoDaddy expiring domain list. It is under Marketplace, GoDaddy expiring domains. Then we filter it down to .coms, get rid of numbers, get rid of hyphens, look for English words. To create this list here, looks like 93,000 domain names that we're going to be having this week. Then we're going to come over to the link up here, and we are going to order by valuation. Valuation is not how much a domain name is worth. It just helps us put them in an order that hopefully matters a little bit, or maybe the most, as to the best domain names on top, and they get worse as they go down. So that way we can find the best ones faster here on the show versus going digging and doing the hard work of just looking through thousands and thousands of domain names, hoping we catch the good one. So, all righty. So I'm going to get us set up here. In that top one there that you see, so what we pretty much do here on the show is, oh yeah, see, there we go. We got Matt back this week, and he's reminding us, make sure to like the video, please. I'd very much appreciate it if you like, and if you haven't already subscribed, I very much appreciate that. This is, if you enjoy this kind of content and love somebody, even on their family vacation, bringing opportunities, then support us with a like and a subscribe. Tell your crazy domaining friends. Listeners.com. Okay, so this is, as you can see over here, this is an enom domain name. As we learned a few weeks ago, enom domain names do not, even though they show up in the list, and even if I go over here and click on it, let's see what GoDaddy says. So you can see it shows that this domain name is expiring, and it shows that the auction is up. And you can see here, there's even a bid of $17.50 already for this domain name. That does not mean that the domain name is actually going to ever end. There's a chance, but we found with enom domain names, it's not very common. The domain names typically get renewed last minute. For that reason, and for many other reasons, I say wait to the last minute to bid. If you can, wait to the last minute to bid. One reason would be if this person is trying to find out what their domain name would sell for, we don't want them to find that out. We want to keep that information back from them, so that way if they're waiting to renew to the last minute, they don't find out what their domain name would sell, because this is kind of, they're hacking the system a little bit to find out what it's worth. Listeners.com, because it's plural, you think listeners, so people that listen. I don't, like, that could be what it was. When I think of a listener, I think of probably a device. So maybe they're typically called webhooks in programming, and a webhook is essentially a script that's there waiting for somebody to send data to it. I would think of them almost as a listener, so maybe you can create some tech thing with that. Not a huge fan of it, other than maybe, we all need somebody to listen to us occasionally. Some people hire therapists or counselors or whatever else. Maybe listeners.com is your brand for a bit of a therapy. So maybe you can get this domain name. Most likely, let's see here. GoDaddy's saying it's $12,000. I would agree it's going to be a 5-figure domain name if it does sell, but I'm not even going to bid on it because I don't expect it to go anywhere. Not that hopefully it's not too much of a cop-out, but realistically, it's not going to go. We'll see. Okay, refundable. I'm not a big fan of it. We talked about Pacific Northwest last week. That one is likely about to expire during this show. So we can kind of watch along maybe. So 11 minutes left on Pacific Northwest. We talked about that quite a bit last week. Good luck if you're going to try to watch that to hear what we said. It's a regional domain name, good amount of traffic and searches, but in general, not perfect for development. But if you live in the area and you're passionate about the Pacific Northwest, absolutely, you can do a lot with a regional and a location-based domain name. Prince Albert, Matt, Chaz, you can click social. I was princealbert.com's up. I was told that's a very adult thing. Don't go Googling it. I don't know, a piercing or something weird. I don't know. Cartrades.com. What do we think about that? That sounds like a middle of the road domain. Could be good. Oh, there we go. It's no longer for sale. This is an opportunity to kind of mention what happens. We are looking at expiring domain names. And with expiring domain names, essentially what happens is it's somebody, they're letting the domain name go. They either forgot about it, whatever else. There's all kinds of different scenarios where somebody's letting their domain name go. And so that domain name is expiring. But in this case, the person that this was letting it expire is like, oh, crap, I got to renew that. They renewed it. Domain name is back. This is what happens with those enom domain names a lot of times. So in other domain names as well, basically it got renewed. So that is what it looks like. That's what I expect listeners.com to appear as later on as well. So probably in about 5 days it'll do it. Go Bulls. I'd avoid it for a trademark thing. Bulls, go Bulls, maybe a fan club. You just can't make any money off it because it is a trademark. You got to watch out for that kind of thing, which actually I just, Matt, who watches the show, got a great domain name. Man, trademarks suck. Anna Mailer. It's an interesting, that's an interesting domain name, interesting brandable domain name. Not sure what to do with it, but Oil Master. I'll tell you what, you could do Oil Master. That my first thought was somebody who literally messes with oil, as far as like crude oil or something like that, oil futures trading. But my wife and many others are into essential oils. So lavender and eucalyptus and all those different smell, well, some smell good, some smell horrible. But Oil Master could be something with that. But again, we're talking more brandable domains versus something kind of a generic, which is what we look for typically. I like generic keyword specific domain names. What does that mean? Well, we'll find out here in a minute, hopefully, as we find a domain name. We'll type it into a site called SpyFu, spyfu.com. Yes, it sounds very dicey to say that out loud. It's actually kind of a pretty good example of a domain name that's brandable, but also not perfect. They didn't think of it through a radio check, through the phonetics of the sound. So if you tell somebody, hey, it's on spyfu.com, well, it could be spyfoo or spyfu. And then when they say spyfu, it kind of sounds a little, in the US, that sounds a little bit dicey. So there you go. That's you got to say a domain name out loud if you're going to build on it. How are you going to tell people to type it in? Make sure it's simple. Eventsdirectory.com. Did we talk about that last week? For some reason, I think we did. Eventsdirectory.com, ending in 4 days. I remember seeing a good events domain name, and I was thinking that Events Directory, somebody needs to build a great events website. There's really nothing good out there. The best one that I found back in the day was meetup.com. And meetup.com was live events, real people just inviting people to join them in their little hobbies and things like that. And I love that site, but then they got too greedy in their monetization and they started charging anyone to host an event and stuff like that. It got carried away, took something that was fun and had a free version of it and just started to make money off of everything. And now there's ads in it too. Anyhow, that site is a depressing failure in my opinion. Oh my. I see talking about some of the adult domain names that we're passing up on as well. Okay, that's funny. You guys crack me up in the chat. This is definitely not marked for children. Okay, so that's eventdirectory.com. I don't like the word directory necessarily. I think there's a lot of other ways to do it, but it's probably worth a couple $100 if you're that person to build a great directory of events. What was that? Ultimate rentals, Taxflix, And as I promised my wife, if the domain names suck, I'm going to close the show early. So we'll see. So what does that mean? Are you rooting for or against the domain name sucking? LED balloon, man, if that was plural, that would actually be okay. Have you seen those balloons? There's balloons that are made, you blow them up and you pinch like the end of it and it lights up. So it's just a normal balloon. They're actually pretty cheap, but they're fun. LEDballoon.com could be a product. Let's go actually dive into this a little bit. Maybe this is better than what I think. LEDballoon.com. So this might be one of those rare finds where you might have passed up on it, except for now Drew brought it up on the show. And yes, I'm talking in third person. Okay, now we got to log into this. I forgot. I was running around like crazy. And maybe I should take myself off of this for 1 second, just in case something dramatic shows up on the screen. I don't want everybody to be able to find okay, come on. So bear with me here. I apologize. I got to get the login to SpyFu. You may have you can use the free spyfu.com for free for a while, but then they lock you out. So that's what they did. They locked me out. I have to, oh my dear goodness. Oh, I'm going to have to change that password. What am I doing? LED balloon. $180 searches. LED balloons. So plural, if you heard, did I say it out or was it in my inside voice or inside head thing? Basically, plural would be the better version, but you can still target it with the singular one. LED balloon banquet, balloon. So not much money happening with it. No advertisers. Click is low. I don't know. So not really much happening with LED balloon, but we got it nonetheless. And while I'm live here, let me make sure that my screen is not showing. I got to change my password because if you did not notice, I just showed my password live on a stream, and I don't want to count on the generosity and kindness of others to not hack me. So this is the downside of, okay, there we go. Bear with me. Okay, we're back. So yes, that was that. I literally showed my password live on the show. And because I showed my password, I had to change it. So nobody hacked me in that short little period of time. That's the beauty of having good people in the show. So indeed. Oops. You see how that was a difficult password though, right? Like it would take you'd really have to pause that video and watch for a really long time to be able to gather that what it was, because it was intense. You got to have really encrypted passwords nowadays. Okay, LED balloon would be a product type domain name. Okay, let's see here. Dirty carpet. I don't know. I've looked for a carpet type domain name. Carpet requires a lot of servicing, so dirty carpet could be a brand for a carpet cleaner. Let's see here. $910 currently, is in 2 days. Dirtycarpet.com, and let's go type it into SpyFu without showing a password. So what would you put on dirtycarpet.com? I have no idea. I'm good at dirtying carpets maybe, and I have a thing for vacuuming, perfectly fine vacuuming. It helps out my marriage. 630 exact searches. And then we're going to do the Control F. And here we are seeing it's highlighting all the times that dirty carpet shows up in all these other keywords around me here. Similar keywords: dirty carpet on stairs, how to cover dirty carpet on stairs, how to clean really dirty carpet. And then you have all these questions over here as well. So you can see all this stuff around me that has dirty carpet in it. So that's good. That's good. We can target those keywords. And then over here, let me make sure I can see it. This stuff that's over here, all above me, these questions, these are things that people are typing into Google, questions that they're asking right online, and that's your content. You can either go out and get answers to those things yourself. You can invite carpet cleaners or experts in cleaning carpet to create content for you, and then advertise them on your website. There's all kinds of different ways that you can handle that and do some pretty cool stuff. You do not have to be the one that creates the content all the time. So there you go. That questions comment is where I would go for what content to put on the website. I do not recommend you go out and create the content. Get experts to do it. And then that middle column of similar keywords, that just shows you other content and other topics that you can target with your domain name if you bought dirtycarpet.com. And then let's go down and check out the money. There's none. So there you go. There's nobody advertising for Dirty Carpet to reach Dirty Carpet. But you can see over here, people are talking about carpet cleaners and things too. So this may be a tougher domain name to target, but here's what I'm kind of thinking. If you were to call up a carpet cleaner, so by a carpet cleaner, Stanley Steamer carpet cleaners, and around us we have Coit and places that come out and do the carpet, deep carpet cleaning. If you were to call them up and say, hey, I'm Drew, I'm with dirtycarpet.com, and I would love to advertise, feature your company on there as somebody who can help clean dirty carpet with dirtycarpet.com. If you can get that, and if their response is to kind of lean in and say, oh yeah, that makes sense, like dirty carpet, like if that creates authority, like, and that person feels, basically if you call and they don't hang up on you because dirty carpet sounds good to them, and by good to them sounds like you have something to do with the industry they're in, that's a good start. Now you can ask them to submit content, videos, or even advertise on the domain name. Make sense? Okay. There we go. Let's keep moving on. No A-level type stuff, but I do like Dirty Carpet. I mean, Dirty Carpet deserves it deserves me to hide my screen for a minute so I can log into GoDaddy, even though I'm sure my username is probably public information. I don't even think it is private. Okay, so here we go. Back to sharing. So dirtycarpet.com, $910. It is getting an ad, my watch list, although based on no money, no advertisers for this, it would be a stretch. I think $1,200 is kind of, if I decided to participate, would be my maximum. Not that I'm going to bid on it, but that's probably where I'd be. So if you see something, make sure to call it out in the chat. I will check back over, try to to catch stuff. Oh, it wasn't just close. It wasn't just close, Coaster G. There, Chazzy. Yeah, this was. I straight up showed the password. Yeah, good stuff. And let me see. Are you going to go to the beach? And we're looking. Yes, there is a sheet in the background. Mostly because anyhow. It's a long story. It's actually okay. If you really want to know, actually, not that anybody actually wants to know what the white thing in the background is. It is a sheet, and what I did was I brought a projector from home, and we watch movies up on it and play games on it. So we have here in the room we're in, we have normal TVs, and I'm like, heck with that. If we're gonna watch movies and stuff, I want to put it up on a big screen. So last night we watched a Marvel movie, and everybody had a good time. So I don't want to take it down, so I left it up, figured it'd be a background. There you go. There you go. You ask all the tough questions. Remotely interesting. Kind of like this show. It's remotely interesting. I actually like that domain name. Let's see what it shows up as. Hopefully the bandwidth and internet connection's working pretty well. I'm actually through my phone right now. One day, remotely interesting. I cannot, there's any traffic for this. This is more of a curiosity than a good domain name for investing, but let's find out. I've been shocked before. 44 searches, no advertisers. So there you go. Remotely interesting. Buy it as an investor, maybe. Okay. The Smuggler. That'd be great if it didn't have the in front of it. Dynamic stuff. What do? I work with dynamic stuff. Okay. Luggett. Beer cash. Used to have beer money. Isn't that what we used to, like college and stuff? You save up for beer money? Actually, isn't that what they say? Like, I think the saying was when you get per diem, like work travel money, per diem is another word for beer money. Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to give it about 2 or 3 more page downs. If we find something good, then that's great. If you see something that I've skipped over, mention it in chat. I'll check in with chat at the end, and we're going to be ending early if we don't catch something better or something good here. Today's leader wouldn't be today. Today leader. Today's leader, plural would be the best way to do that. There's a program called Who's Who. You ever heard of that? They basically spam the crap out of new businesses and others, and they try to say they've won an award or something to show them in basically a yearbook. But today's leaders would be a good opportunity to target that, to kind of go for that vanity marketing. Expert listings, same things. That's an enom domain name. I don't know if you saw that. It's probably behind my head. So this one is by enom, 1 day left. But I do like expertlistings.com. That one's going to get a watch list. I'm thinking more directory, kind of a vanity thing. Like, it's a little bit vanity. And by vanity, what I'm saying is all of us want to be known for being experts or pros in our field. Or maybe, you have something that you really care about. And it would be nice if you were known for that. Like for me, domain development, that's my thing. Like if there was a category for experts in domain development, I hope that I'm in that category. But expert listings could be that. Like if you're looking for somebody that knows something about this niche thing or whatever it is, expert listings could be that. You can go and find professional experts. I just hate the word expert though. Ugh, feels icky. Anything that kind of like is a vanity, it just feels like vanity. Is it vanity or is it not? I'm talking to myself more than anything else here. Okay, data recruit. And I'm going to go over to chat. Let's see what's on this last page down. Nothing. Okay. So there we go. We looked at some domain names. We're halfway through what would typically be the 1 hour domain to profit. But Mohawk Vacation Drew we're not seeing a bunch of good ones. Typically I would really, keep going in the list, look for great domain names to bring to you. And not really finding great ones this week. So, and thank you, Jeffrey, for the check-in. I think it was, let me see here, chat just moved on me. But yes, I'm glad the internet's working well. I get comments every once in a while about the internet having issues. I hate it. I'm sorry that it happens. I try to improve it. I'm actually doing the show through my phone today because I didn't trust the hotel Wi-Fi. So haven't been to Daytona's. And actually, I don't know what would happen if I tried to show. Does that show up? Nope. That's kind of what I figured. I figured it wouldn't show up. I tried. But yeah, there's, you got a good view right down A1A, beach, A1A outside, the beach off to the side, a bunch of stuff happening out there. It's actually quite nice, but it's so bright because it's on the sunny side of the building right now that I knew we couldn't really do much about it. So, hey, Jason Shepard's here. Nice to see you here. Yeah, there you go. Expert witnesses. There's a lot that you can do with it. I guess when I think of expert or people that use the word expert, I go to all the gurus that are trying to sell crap online. And it's like, just because you call yourself an expert to sell something doesn't mean you're an expert. There you go. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one for sure. You need help finding the people that know weird stuff. And sometimes it's weird stuff for sure. Okay. Well, I wish I could, and I did post over on Twitter a few photos and stuff from vacation. I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm a huge fan of building sandcastles, and not just like normal, like couple bucket sandcastles. We go at it for hours, and we will build some. We spent a couple hours on a sandcastle, actually 90 minutes on a sandcastle yesterday. And you could see that over on Twitter. I posted a couple photos of it. It looks a little weird, but anyhow, it was a quick sandcastle. It made it as tall as one of the kids that are with us, so that's always nice. But anyhow, we love building sandcastles. It's what I'm here to do, is build sandcastles. So I'll be out there after the storm passes. We're going to go and hopefully build another sandcastle, a little small one. Tomorrow, though, I think the weather's going to allow me to build a huge sandcastle, which I'm excited about. I'm a builder. So, okay. Oh, okay. Let me see. Rock's mentioning, I didn't see this one. Placement Hub. I didn't see that one on there. It doesn't sound bad. It's more of a brandable, especially with the word hub. But you could possibly do that, especially as an advertising agency. I could see that being a brandable for them. And let's see if I do miss chat sometimes. It kind of flies by, and okay. Well, I think that's going to be it, folks. This is Domain to Profit. I am Drew Wash. This has been the abbreviated version of the show where we look at expiring domain names, looking for opportunities. Let me see. Let me summarize just real quick some of the ones that we did find. We looked at expertlistings.com, remotelyinteresting.com, dirtycarpet.com, ledballoon.com, eventsdirectory.com, and then already ended was Pacific Northwest. That ended during the show. And then listeners.com, good domain name, but it is an enom domain name, so I do not anticipate the auction going to completion. But those are the domain names we talked about here in about 30 minutes. I'm Drew Wash, Domain to Profit. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next week. I'll be back in my home. Fingers crossed, I'll be back in my home studio, coming back to you for 103, 103rd show. Find those opportunities, pursue them, develop them. See you over on the Domain to Profit community. Thanks for joining me. Take care.